Picture the perfect international vacation. Historic architecture, quaint cafes, beautiful beaches. It sounds great. Now imagine getting there. You got a 14-hour cramped flight, a long wait in customs, and a whole lot of jet lag to look forward to. Introducing a new way to travel, intranationally. Get all that international charm without ever leaving the country. Get all the culture, cuisine, and beaches right here in St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra. Travel intranationally. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more.
FocusPlannedGiving.com. That's FocusPlannedGiving.com.
WQEE 99.1 FM Noonan, WBRQ LaGrange, WZV 90.5 FM Lineville, JC Sports Networks. It's now time for Tea Talks with your host, Margie Conway, in association with Connecting Hearts Network, connecting hearts of women to resources, inspiration, and one another. Sponsored by Pia Payne and Contour Mortgage, Warrior Defenders, Happy Life Nutrition, Killingsworth Realtor, and Family Patterns Matter. Now here's your host of Tea Talk, Margie Conway.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. Find us online at killingsworthrealty.com or call 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. I'm a certified tactical self-defense instructor, and I specialize in women's self-defense. I teach technical drills for survival skills and education on self-defense tools and how to use them. My journey started in self-defense because I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm here to empower women, to teach them how to be their own heroes, and to learn today to have a safer tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Noonan Crossing Bypass in Noonan next to Art and Jake's, and we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other companies, and we also have some great products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
This is Margie from Connecting Hearts Network. I'd like you to take just a moment and listen to Linda Kirkpatrick explain to you what Family Patterns Matters is all about.
Family Patterns Matter works with youth and their families to help overcome barriers that prevent their success. We meet twice a month with mentoring, tutoring, teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Hey guys, this is Dana with Happy Life Nutrition, located on 18 Perry Street, downtown Noonan. Hours are 8 to 5, Tuesday through Friday. Come check us out. We will be serving up meal replacement shakes, calorie-burning teas, coffees, waffles. We have a kids menu and a workout menu. We do deliveries with a 5-drink minimum or $5 delivery charge if less. You can call ahead for your order. Free Wi-Fi, quiet atmosphere for business meetings or get-together. Our number at Happy Life Nutrition is 770-683-5172. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, this is Margie from Creative Heart Studio, and this is your first episode of Tea Talks, which is sponsored by the Connecting Hearts Network. Our Tea Talks is going to be me sitting around a table with some people that has some good herbal teas and having a conversation about the things that are close to your heart. Our very first episode is today, and we're very happy that today we're going to talk about our Her Journey program that we teach at Creative Heart Studios and at my local church. This program is for women who have been or are in domestic violence or abuse situations. But I always say I believe every woman alive should take it because it has value for you in teaching you who you are and how to set boundaries and how to handle emotions and, you know, what healthy relationships should be like. So we want to just take this opportunity just to share some experiences with it. And we have a wide group of ladies here who have gone through or are going through it from different backgrounds and situations that are going to share with you when we do it. But for a moment, I want to share how I got into it in case you haven't heard that yet. I, in 2017, had what I call then a breakdown, but now I call it a breakthrough, and found it necessary to go to counseling to heal from things I grew up with in the childhood and my first marriage, where I ended up putting 2 children up for adoption because we just couldn't manage it. And most of those things I thought I had dealt with, but I'd basically just put them behind me and tried to move forward, and they caught up to me one year. That year I had a huge breakdown, and I ended up, sitting in the floor thinking, oh God, what's happening? And somebody told me to go to Christian Families Today, which I did. And I credit that with God using it as a tool to help me heal and save my life, because it was really that bad, folks. It's when you go through something that's traumatic, you have to deal with it. If you don't deal with it, then it's going to stay with you until you do deal with it. And sometimes you have to deal with it in layers. You deal with it a little bit now and a little bit later. And as I started doing this, secrets I had pretty much kept for 50 years, I just opened my Pandora's box and told everybody everything about all of it. Most of the people I was around at the time did not have a clue about any of it. But the more that I talked, the more women started coming to me and telling me their stories that they hadn't told other people. I had one older woman come and share her story about adoption in the 50s that she had never shared with anyone but her husband. And we were able to get her in reunion with her daughter before she passed. And so those opportunities, though, especially about women who had been through traumatic things, led me to saying, Lord, you better tell me what to say to these women, because I have no clue. And I swear I didn't say anywhere around the internet or Facebook. It was just in my mind. But on Facebook, as will happen, her journey and ARMS, which is abuse. See, I can't even get it out of my head right now. But Abuse Recovery Ministries, and it's based out of Oregon. And a woman named Julie is the first one that I made contact with. And this program that they have put together has been going for many years. And Stacy, who is the founder and developer of the program, is now, one of the largest advocates for domestic violence victims in the U.S. This program is faith-based, but it is non-denominational as you teach it. And for some women who have been through going to their pastors and sharing their problems, get told things like you have to stay, and if you would be more meek and respect him more and submit more and stuff, then it would change. And that's not what changes it. And some women have stayed until death do you part, really, by the death doing them part, because they didn't know what else to do and felt that was their duty. So in her journey, we make sure that we tell you, no, we're not advocates for divorce, but we are advocates for your safety, and we are advocates for you to be able to have an abundant life. And we are advocates for you to do what you can to heal and change yourself as much as you need to do, not because any abuse or domestic violence that you would have went through would have been your fault, but because it has left a mark on you that you need to be able to heal. So anyway, that's enough about me giving you a head start. We're going to move in, and we have the first lady that I'm going to have you talk to is our warrior defender, Holly. Holly and I connected several years before I even found her journey, and when I started telling her about it, she was very excited. And the day I got my certificate in the mail, Holly was the first person I called. And out of all the college classes and trainings and coaching classes and everything else I took, this one certificate is one to me that felt like it was actually turning everything I did into something good. So, Holly, tell us a little bit about you and your experience with her journey.
Well, I was so excited when you told me about the program, because it's perfect for all women, not just people like me that's a survivor, but for women who have been through any type of trauma, family, relationships, divorce, loss of a loved one. It covers all of that and teaches you how to incorporate positivity through these circumstances and to heal through them. When you're going through the classes and you're learning, you then listen to and do your homework. That's important. and listen to what your mind and body's telling you from the responses, and then you're like have these light bulb moments, and it's really a fascinating program, and it's really something the community needs here in the area for every woman.
And I agree with you, and with you saying that, and she won't mind me saying her name, but she couldn't be here this morning. We have a lady at our church named Miss Cornelia, and she started in at the program with us too, because I asked ladies at our church to take the program to be able to help as it grew. And she would bring us cookies, and at first we were doing a morning session and a night session, and she was quick to say, I've never been in any domestic violence, but I want to support you in this and help anyone I can. And she would bring cookies to the morning and the night one. Well, our second lesson was on boundaries. And right after that lesson, she said, Miss Margie, I said, what? And she said, I need to tell you I'm not coming to the night classes anymore. I will make sure you have enough cookies, but I don't want to drive at night anymore, so I'll only be at the morning classes. And I jokingly said, but you're not supposed to use that against me. But in reality, I was very happy that she was standing up for herself and stating what, she meant to do. So it helps everybody, especially those boundary lessons. Does anybody else have an intro you want to start off telling about how you found her journey, or how you're here? And we have 3 other ladies with us. One is going through the program now. One is helping me with it all the way through, and this is her 3rd time doing it, and one has completed the entire program but doesn't have her certificate because Miss Margie has been lax in giving her a survey. So they come from different backgrounds and different stages in life, and that's why we asked them here, so you could see the benefit that it has to everyone. So how about, I'm going to ask the most outspoken one of you to, Erica, how about if you tell us how you found her journey?
Well, and thank you for having me today, Margie, by the way. I found her journey because I have known Holly for many, many years, and I was actually supporting her through Purple Power Night they had. Mm-hmm. And she'll probably explain that a little bit later, but she had several guests there, and it was for empowerment for women. And my idea was, well, Holly had texted me at the last minute and said, are you coming? Because I don't do Facebook, so she knows to let me know ahead of time, but she'd forgotten to remind me, so I was a little bit late. In my mind, I was just going to support Holly because I didn't need any of that stuff. I was fine. I dealt with all my past skeletons in my closet. But my history with is not, I'm not currently in a domestic violence relationship. I've had lots of abuse in my past, a date rape, and several other situations, just kind of, all over the place all through my life. And until the last, 20 years in my current wonderful relationship with my husband. So I had felt like I had dealt with everything. But when I came to the program, or the Purple Power Night, Purple Power
Panel, try saying that 3 times
yes,
fast.
Right. Thank you, Margie. I started listening to Margie's story, and I just could not, I started crying and couldn't stop, and realized that I really did need the program. More than I had, I thought I was fine. I thought I dealt with it, and the past was the past. And obviously I had not. And I feel like not only had I not dealt with it recently, it's something I'm going to have to probably do for the rest of my life, is continually be aware of my past and deal with it in positive ways, because I had been dealing with the pain in negative ways,
Right.
overeating and alcohol and shopping.
Shopping gets us all.
And it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, it gets us.
And so I've really enjoyed the classes, and I've learned a lot, and I've taken a lot away from learned a lot from it, and I recommend it to anyone.
Thank you. All right, how about you, Miss Lynn? First of all, the first classes we did when we did the personality thing, there was like 9 people in the room, and me and Holly were the choleric ones, which are the bossy, mean, do what I ask you to people, and everybody else was the one in the room, was in that room because me or Holly had personally invited them.
Well, it wouldn't be bossy. It would be like the leader people.
I have leadership skills, people. It's not bossiness. All right, Lynn.
Hi, well, I'm Lynn, and I'm in my early 40s, and I've never experienced abuse in past relationships. And how I came to attend the class, as Margie said, is that she announced it and invited ladies at her church, and I'm a member at her church, to attend. And I thought it sounded very interesting, and I thought it was an opportunity also to help Margie. And so I attended it out of curiosity and interest. And I'm really glad that I attended it, because what I found was, even though I had not been through any abuse in the past, that there were certain emotional issues and attitudes that I had that I needed to deal with and I needed to address. And I found that it was also a time for me to reflect on things that had happened in my past that I never really gave time to think about. And what I love about the class is that you not only have the lessons that address it from a biblical perspective, from God's word, which is powerful, but also you have Margie's experience, which I think helps make the class well-rounded, because of her experiences, she can connect with a lot of what I had been through and what a lot of the other ladies are going through. And I didn't feel like I didn't fit into the class. I felt like there was something in every class for me. And there was a string, just to mention on a personal level, but there's a string of thoughts that ran through each class that really touched me in a personal way, and it had to do with God having a design and a purpose for my life, and in spite of me, and that there's a role that He has for me that only me could fill. And that touched me tremendously, because Scripture says that we are designed by God for His purpose, and that rang through in every single lesson. I thought that was amazing. And also that even though we've made mistakes in our past and we're not perfect, that God can use us where we are. So I thought that was beautiful. And while I was attending the course, my mom decided to join me, and that was very special and extra special for a number of reasons. But she and my dad were having some challenges, and she thought it would be good for her to attend the course. And through that attending and through her conversations with Margie, she was able to find help with the situation that they were dealing with. And I think she was able to address those issues and feel happy with where she was. And it worked out really well, because sadly my mom passed not too long after she started attending the course, but I credit the course with her and my dad being able to enjoy their last few months together. So that's really awesome. And I would recommend it, like Holly said, for anybody, even if you have not been in an abusive relationship.
Thank you, Lynn. And now I'm going to point out to anyone that ever comes to our lessons, ever again in the future, that sometimes we say, okay, God is the one that fills our needs. He gives us the cake. We have our bread and our cake. And Lynn is the one who's coined the phrase, but she loves the icing and the sprinkles. The husbands bring the icings and the sprinkles so that other people in our life can add to what God has already put there. But God is the base for it. So if you hear me talking about icing and sprinkles, which we're thinking about making into a T-shirt, that's where it comes from. All right, Miss Amy, you've got a few words to share with us.
Hi there. Yes, I just want to say that I enjoy the group because I've never really been in some of the situations some of the other ladies have been in, but I have gotten help through the program, through different personal situations, dealing with my mom, dad, so forth and everything. And it has really helped me. So I would suggest, anybody, just like everybody else, anybody come that needs some emotional support, because I've met some pretty awesome ladies through this group, so I've enjoyed it.
And Amy said to me not long ago that she really likes the group of ladies that we have started surrounding ourselves with, and she comes to all the meetings, just like I do. I get something out of all of them. Matter of fact, I was dealing with something about a month ago, and all of a sudden I'm sitting in the meeting leading the lesson, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not through dealing with that part. And I do want to go, and first thing I want to say is, we all talked about the self-improvement that it's added to our lives. I want to point out again, if you have been a victim of abuse or domestic violence, it is not your fault. There is nothing you could do that would have changed it, except maybe leave. That's really the only thing that could have changed it. And the self-improvement work that we do through the Her Journey program is to help us learn how to change some of our flesh patterns and coping patterns that we have learned that may not be good for healthy relationships. It helps us, when we've dealt with bullies in school, that leaves a mark on you, and that makes you believe things about yourself, and so you deal with things a certain way. But the Her Journey helps you go inside and change those flesh patterns and get an appreciation for who God designed you to be, who you really are, and what you're worth. Your value is more than rubies and pearls. You are precious in His sight. And one of my favorite phrases, I have two favorite phrases from Her Journey. The first one, though, one of them deals with this one, and it says that it went straight out of my head right at that moment. So I'm going to tell you the other one, then I'll come back to this one. The first one I do is, when you're in a time of trouble or in trauma, you're in a valley. And when you're in that valley and going through it, there's muck and mire, and sometimes there's hard times to do in there. And we say that it points out, because it's loosely based on Psalms 23, it says we go through the valley. We do not pitch our tent and camp there. And unfortunately, a lot of us will do that from time to time, so we need to pull up those tent pegs and get marching on so that we can make the improvements in our life. And if that other phrase pops in my mind before we end, I'll share it with you, but that happens sometimes, especially with me.
I'd like to point out that when you're trying to get out of the valley, it's really good to have a group of women to help you get out of there, because sometimes you don't see that exit.
Yes.
And the group and the support that you get will help you get out of there.
Right. If you didn't have a support system, or you needed to strengthen yours, we have a great sisterhood in the groups that we lead in this area. I mean, when we have to skip a group, we miss each and every person that's not there. And then when the ones who have finished the group, aren't coming, we miss them too. We enjoy spending time with the women that we do. So again, abuse is not your fault, and domestic violence is not your fault. The only fault it is of yours is if you stay, and if you stay in that circumstances. The person doing the abuse is about power and control for whatever reason that they have, and they are the only ones that can do the changing that's needed to do. They have to talk with God themselves and make the changes, but they have to want to do it. And there's we can pray, and that's our job. We're to pray there for them, but they have to make the changes. And the Bible says repentance is necessary, and repentance is not just saying I'm sorry. Repentance is saying I'm sorry, I realize what I've done, and turning away from it not to do it anymore. Now, does that mean we never do the things anymore? We're all human, so yeah, we do. But there is a line that you draw there. So I want to take just a minute, and each of you tell me that so far, what has been your most defining lesson that you think of that has left an impact on you? They're all taking a deep breath like, she didn't give me this question.
Her journey, I've dealt with a lot of many years of healing. You and I have been through so much together, Margie, and when you go through it, there's always something you can take from it. There's always a section in your life that is happening at your moment. And when I started with it, I was dealing with extreme loss, and it was traumatic, and that her journey helped me get through a lot of those levels to be able to move forward and not have all that anguish anymore from the loss. It wasn't from the domestic violence, it was from the loss from a family member, and that was important to get over.
Absolutely. And it tells you in here with domestic violence and abusive situations, that is a death, because you expect, here's my wonderful relationship and it's going to last forever and we're going to be happy and do this and that, and when it doesn't happen that way, it's really hard to handle, and that is a loss in your life that you have to deal with. That's a whole lesson in itself.
We could talk for an hour.
Yeah, we
on
could.
this.
I can tell you, if Miss Erica, can you think of one that you want to mention so far?
Actually, the very first lesson meant a lot to me. We remember talking about denial, and I was I think this is when I first realized how much in denial I actually was. And when I went home, actually it was a few days later, I journaled about it and actually discovered that my first abuse situation was the mean girls in my grade school.
Right. And that happens. It is. And I can tell you one thing that I love about leading this program is when somebody gets it, there's like, you see that light in their eyes, you see it change. And I've seen growth in Erica just in the portions of the program that she's done, to the point that she saw, we talked about, I had done a healing portrait. She's done her own healing portrait that is fantastic, and it's going to be on display at Happy Life during the Fall Art Walk on Thursday the 22nd. We're going to post that all over the place because I'm so proud of her, and she said I could. I was hoping she would say I could, and it has inspired, other people. It's like, oh, I might do that. It's not hanging in here, unfortunately, but we're going to share that for the Fall Art Walk. Miss Amy, Miss Lynn, do you have a specific one you want to mention that might have been very beneficial to you?
Well, I realized in one of the lessons that there were some issues I hadn't dealt with. My mom passed away like 30 years ago, and I can't remember which specific lesson it was, but it brought back memories that maybe I hadn't dealt with some emotional issues, similar to what Holly was talking about. And it brought that up, so really this program can help any emotional stress you might have on yourself, and I would suggest it to any woman, so, because it really helps me in different aspects.
And with Miss Amy, I have noticed, especially over this last session that we're doing, I even told my husband, she's getting a little sassy, and she's getting a little outspoken, and she's always been a little outspoken and sassy with me, but she don't always let it come out with other people, and she is grown to the fact that she speaks up quite often in class, and she is able to help mentor the other women that's going through things and talk with them, and she's doing a great job of that. There's no way I could do that without my sassy Miss Amy. Miss Lynn, do you have a specific issue that you'd like to mention that's been helpful?
I think one of the things that it helped me think about is anger. I think there was a lesson on anger, and that's an emotion that I have to be honest with myself that I struggle with from time to time. But one of the things that was said in the lesson is that, how does it go? It's something to do with our reaction and our response. Like, we can react, which is just that our emotions get the better of us, or we can choose to respond. Right. And so it has to do with controlling your attitude and your response. And it also highlighted that, it's because of sin and the fall that all our relationships have been tarnished. Our relationships are meant to be perfect, husband and wife, brother and sister. So it made me realize that it's because of that fall. And the only person who can restore that and heal us is Jesus. So
absolutely.
I love that it points us back to him, but also we have a responsibility to examine ourselves and respond differently.
That's good. And Miss Lynn has the most loving heart. I mean, she will love on you, and she is a prayer warrior. So if you need that, she is fantastic at that. And she got over her nervousness, her and Miss Amy both, to come in and talk today, because the other three of us are a little bit outgoing, although I'm sure Erica was like, radio? What radio? and it's along the lines as, it helped me when I started going through it as a participant. It started helping me deal with a family member that, was not my husband, but was reminding me of things I had gone through in a first marriage. It helped me deal with that issue a lot. I cannot tell you how much. But one of our most popular lessons is the one on boundaries. And that's one just about everybody needs. Like I told you Miss Cornelia's experience in that. We all need to learn to set healthy boundaries and to know that if something's not good for us, it is okay for us to say no. But I can tell you it's very good for you to take healthy steps and healing steps in your life to improve your life, to find out why you have certain coping patterns that you do and how to make them healthy, to improve relationships to make them healthy. And those things are all things you should say yes to. So if you would like to take some of those steps and find out more about her journey, you can message us. Me and Holly are all over Facebook and Instagram and anywhere else that we can find to post our names, because it is important to us, and we kind of make a great team. She teaches the physical and psychological self-defense and gets out there and beats those bullies up, and I'm the one that comes in here and says, okay, now let's talk about it, and gives you tea. And the funny thing about that is I'm the one that introduced her to the Beat the Bully Up system. So.
And you will definitely have to check out the other podcast for that information, because that's always fun to talk about.
Yes, it is. So we thank you very much for listening to us today. We hope that you share this with someone that might need it. And if you need any more information, please reach out to us. You can do connectingheartsnetwork@gmail.com. and we will get back with you. And you can follow the West Coweta on Instagram and on Facebook, and it has posts about class. We never tell publicly when and where the class is in case there is a woman that needs to come who needs protection. And if that happens, we do have, we can provide child care if we have to, if we know in advance, and we can have security if we need to make sure there's protection. So, these ladies said it was okay to share their first names, and we want to protect those that come to us as we help with them to heal. So I thank all of you for coming this morning and giving me your time, and you're going to be so glad that you did, because it is for a very good purpose. Thank you, and we will talk next week.
You have been listening to Tea Talks with Margie Conway in association with Connecting Hearts Network, connecting hearts of women to resources, inspiration, and one another. Tune in next week for another episode of Tea Talks.
Hey guys, this is Dana with Happy Life Nutrition, located on 18 Perry Street, downtown Noonan. Hours are 8 to 5, Tuesday through Friday. Come check us out. We will be serving up meal replacement shakes, calorie burning teas, coffees, waffles. We have a kids menu and a workout menu. We do deliveries with a 5-drink minimum or $5 delivery charge if less. You can call ahead for your order. Free Wi-Fi, quiet atmosphere for business meetings or get-togethers. Our number at Happy Life Nutrition is 770-683-5172. Can't wait to see you.
This is Margie from Connecting Hearts Network. I'd like you to take just a moment and listen to Linda Kirkpatrick explain to you what Family Patterns Matters is all about.
Family Patterns Matter works with youth and their families to help overcome barriers that prevent their success. We meet twice a month with mentoring, tutoring, teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Hello. I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Noonan Crossing Bypass in Noonan, next to Art and Jake's. And we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other companies, and we also have some great products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. Find us online at killingsworthrealty.com or call 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. I'm a certified tactical self-defense instructor, and I specialize in women's self-defense. I teach technical drills for survival skills and education on self-defense tools and how to use them. My journey started in self-defense because I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm here to empower women, to teach them how to be their own heroes, and to learn today to have a safer tomorrow.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
The pandemic has been hard on all our kids. New studies show more than 1 in 3 children who started school in the pandemic now need intensive reading help. That's right. Millions of kids in kindergarten through 3rd grade in the United States cannot read at grade level. Here's the good news. Your child can be reading in just 30 days, guaranteed, with Hooked on Phonics. Even if your child has been struggling, Hooked on Phonics will teach your child to read in just 30 days, guaranteed. And right now, you can get started for just $1. Text the word GRADE to 323232 right now. Hooked on Phonics is highly effective and incredibly fun, and everything can be done right from home and in less than 20 minutes a day. For more than 30 years, Hooked on Phonics has been the proven learn-to-read program that kids love to use. Text GRADE to 323232 and teach your child to read in just 30 days, guaranteed. Text GRADE to 323232 right now and get started for just $1. Text GRADE to 323232 now. Text GRADE to 323232.